Hey there, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, the Top Deck King. Um, so we are trying something in Historic because Standard is a little plain right now. So I wanted to go back into Historic. And as you notice, I've been posting more Historic decks in the last week or so, last week or two. So we wanted to try some more Historic here and see how things work out. So this deck is Incarnation. It relies on this card a lot, obviously, because we're running a bunch of enchantments that we can sack to bring out creatures. So this is what this deck is, 4 colors. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, if you're enjoying the video, you like the content, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like, hit that notification. I would appreciate it greatly. For all the people who have already subscribed and are watching my video, thank you for constantly watching. Thank you for the feedback, the comments that I'm receiving from all of you guys. It's making me a better player, making me a better content creator and everything like that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. And let's get into the deck real fast. All right, so let's going to do a quick over deck view of the deck real fast before we get into the matches. So right off the bat, we're playing 4 colors, but the majority of the deck is really soul tie with a splash of white. You can even cut the white if you want, but the white is actually kind of helpful in some of the cards. Obviously, the white is helpful for Yasharn because Yasharn is a very powerful card against the sacrifice decks right now. So that's good, and that's why I have another one in the sideboard. But you can grab this out with all your 3 mana cost enchantments, and so that's what the white is there for. You can cut the black if you want. I mean, but like I would just keep it in the 4 colors. It doesn't have mana problems. Obviously, there's a lot of things here where like I'm playing 3 blue cards. I'm playing like 4 or 5 black cards, but it needs those cards to be good. Obviously Omen. So Omen works really well with Renegade Rallier. On top of that, Omen is just a solid card. So you should keep this in there, especially with Yorion. It's very good. You shouldn't have problems with mana because you have these, shocklands. You have Temple Garden, you have Overgrown Tomb, you have Breeding Pool. Obviously you have the Tri-lands here. You have the World Tree to help you mana fix in a sense once you get to 6 lands. And since you're ramping with Binding of the Gods, you should hit 6 lands pretty easily. You have Golas there, and then Golas with World Tree can activate the effect. So you shouldn't have mana problems with this deck. I haven't had any mana problems yet. And I say yet because it is a 4-color deck. So, but yet, like I said, Omen helps you scry. This helps you scry. You got it also helps you draw cards. But like I said, you got Binding of the Gods, Yasharn to grab lands and stuff. So, but this is the deck, and so the reason why I'm playing this deck is because this deck is really good against the current meta with the Jund Sacrifice, the Rakdos Sacrifice. You get access to ley lines out of the sideboard, but in the main deck, you get access to Yasharn, and especially against the Rakdos and the Jund Sacrifice deck, this card is big. And then if, let's say, they kill it, you have Acolyte to bring it back from the graveyard. So, like, it's a very solid deck. You also have Scarab God that you can use to exile it and then recast it, pretty much recast it in a sense. So I like this deck against the meta because the meta currently is a lot of the sacrifice decks. If it goes more towards control, like the meta starts becoming more control-y, I don't personally like this deck against control just because it has a bunch of dead cards. Obviously control also has, well, that's the thing also, control won't have any dead cards really against you because you do win with creatures. Obviously you're trying to win with creatures through value of Incarnation, but you do run creatures and that's your win condition. So their deck isn't gonna have any dead cards against you. The counter spells are gonna counter these powerful, say, enchantments or something like that, and then their creature removal cards are actually live because they're going to kill everything you play. So if you're playing, and which is why in the sideboard there's 4 Disdainful Strokes, 2 Thoughtseize, and 3 Destiny Spheres spinners, because it's very bad against control. It's good against the other decks in the format, but bad against control. So hopefully it's not a control meta. At the moment it's not, so this deck is very solid, and that's why I'm playing this. So let me break down the numbers really quickly before we get into the matches. So obviously we want 4 Omens. This card's very powerful. You're playing Yorion. You want to be able to scry. This card's great. Trial Ambition is there because you make them sack a creature. Then you use a Incarnation to sack it to grab a 3 cost. It also could be Yorion Blinked. Search of Greatness, this number could be played around with. I'm trying it at 4 at the moment, but this can easily go down to like 3. You can even possibly cut this card. It hasn't done too much against me. The games that where it was great, I was already winning, and the games where I was like kind of behind or in, didn't do anything. So this card, I'm giving it a try. Let's just see what happens. Then, like I said, and that was in the test phase that I was trying it, and I was like, okay, well, we'll just try it. Let's see how it works on the ladder. Obviously testing it off ladder is different than testing it on the ladder, but let's find out. 1 Skyclave, because this could be grabbed out of your deck. You don't really need too many exile effects right now, just because you have Nightmares, you have Deputies. Deputies is a strong card too. 4 Nightmares, obviously, because of the graveyard recursion decks, Rakdos, John, all those decks, you need 4 of these. Then you could just sack it with Incarnation. 1 Citizen Champion, you're running a lot of enchantments. This card is kind of weak in a sense where if they just kill it, it doesn't do anything. But if you start casting a bunch of your enchantments, this card becomes powerful. 2 Deputies. I'm giving this a test over this because Deputy could take any card where Skyclave can only take 4 costs or less. Obviously, if they kill Skyclave, they create a token. This, they just get the actual card back. So we're giving a test. So 2 here and 1 there. Let's see how it works. For Otakaya, this is a removal card, gain 2 life, so that way if you're playing against a bunch of aggro decks like Gruul Aggro, Mono Red Burn or stuff like that, you can kill their creature and gain some life. You could Yorion Blanket, sack it for Incarnation, stuff like that. 1 Knight of Autumn, you need this against like Witch's Oven and stuff like that. It could be searched out for, so 1 of Knight of Autumn. You don't really need more than that because it could just be searched out, like I said. It can also be brought back with this or Scarab God. So Renegade Rallier, in testing, this card's been actually really good because Incarnation, you can use it to sack Omen, and then you bring this out since it's a 3-drop, and you use this effect to bring the Omen back. So in testing, this card's been pretty solid. I'm gonna keep it at 1 at the moment, but if it gets better, then I'm just gonna up it to maybe 2. 1 Archon against, this is mostly against like red decks if you need the life gain. I'm trying 1 Gonti. This is kind of against the mid-range decks. It's a dead touch. It takes 1 of their cards. Chupacabra, obviously, it's a removal. You can grab it with your 3 cost enchantments that you have. It's a very solid card. Worst case scenario, you cast it for 4 mana to kill a creature. 1 Acolyte of Fiction. This is there mainly for if I need to get something that got killed or got destroyed, an enchantment or artifact got destroyed. I can use it to get it back, a one-time effect. 4 Binding of the Gods, this card's obviously really good. 1 Yasharn against all the Rakdos or all the sacrifice decks. And obviously we're an Incarnation deck, so you have to be running 4 of those. I'm running technically 3 Yorions here, so that's that. 1 Scarab God, it's a way to deal with mid-range decks. 1 Tolsumer, this is here to play against like the red decks because you could kill their creature, you fight the creature, and you gain life, and then you put 6 body on the board. 1 Yorick, I'm giving this a test because it could double trigger all your stuff. So let's see how that works. I'm not really sure how this works. We're just giving it a try. Let's see what happens. And then obviously Golas is a colorless card, and you could just cast it with anything you want. The lands are kind of basic. You can mess around with the lands, if you want. I'm just doing it this way to see how it works. And the sideboard is pretty basic. Obviously, like I said, control cards. This one I'm giving it a try because against the Auras deck, but I don't know about this. We'll see with this. A friend suggested this card, and we'll see. I don't know, but let's go give it a try and see how this works out on the ladder. All right. So let's play some Enigmatic Incarnation in Historic. Let's get some Historic up in here, All right, we're on the play, so that's good. This hand is interesting. We don't know what our opponent's playing. So we have this is tough. I think I have to mold this, though. All right, this is much better. Way, way, way better. I'm glad I took that mulligan because obviously not knowing what your opponent's playing is going to be tough. And I didn't have access to black that So it was going to be like, what am I going to play, you know? Whereas this hand, I have a turn 2 play with Omen and Trial of Ambition, so I have multiple spells I can cast here. Now it's just debating on which one I want to put to the bottom. I'm just thinking land here because Omen should give me the 4th land anyways for Binding of the Gods, and I don't really need necessarily the Glacial Fortress since I have Hinterland Harbor, so we'll just do that. Now we have a, like I said, we have a turn 2 play and a turn 3 play. So let's see what happens, All right. So red. Interesting. So I'm assuming Rakdos. If it's red, maybe it's mono red actually. Never mind. Because Rakdos wouldn't be playing Snowlands here in Historic. So this is probably just mono red aggro or mono red burn, whatever you want to call it. All right. I do need a 4th land. Debating if I should keep. So, my logic here is: do I want to shock and play Nightmare, or do I want to shock and grab Yorion, or just play the Triumph tapped and pass turn? So I'm debating on the lands here. I think I just bottom the Triumph, and I could shock this and. We'll see. Let's see what happens. Okay, Otakaya is actually a pretty good draw too. Now we can shock because we have Otakaya to regain us the life. And let's look at their hand now to see what they're running. Obviously, I'm pretty positive this is red aggro, red burn, whatever you want to call it. So I don't see it doing anything other than that. Let's see what they have. Wow, Incarnation was a good draw. Ooh, okay, I don't care about Frostbite. I don't care about Braid. I don't care about Shock. I don't care about any of that stuff. I mean, they get to kill our creatures, but our creatures are free cast cards, so I don't care if they kill the creatures here. Sacrifice the Nightmare. Let's go grab a 4-drop. Maybe Yasharn, because it grabs me 2 lands. I could grab the Angel, or Archon. It's not really an Angel. Gonti, but Yasharn seems better because it gives me the lands that I need. I'm currently at 4 lands that I need 5 and 6. Obviously, white and green is not necessarily what I'm looking for. I'm looking for black so that way I could cast multiple black spells since I have 3 black spells in my hand. But it's fine. Missing a land is worse than not having too much of the color, Let's see. So we got 5 mana. We can add Yori to our hand. It doesn't really matter what land I play here because I'm not casting anything. I can sack the Omen here. And I have, what is it? Renegade, I think it's called, right? Renegade Rallier? Yeah, Renegade Rallier. This will allow me to bring the Omen back. I could also get the 3/3 Lifelinker, but I think this is just better just because he has Frostbite in his hand. So if I would have got the 3/3 Lifelinker, he would have just Frostbited it. Now if he kills Renegade Rallier, who cares? I got Omen back. I sacked Omen to get Omen back to scry, draw cards. Like it's just all gravy all the time. Yeah, our opponent does not just have Enigmatic Chandler. Okay. That's interesting. I haven't seen that card in a long time. Luckily, we can make him get rid of it. Goodbye, Enigmatic Chandler. You gotta learn today. Alright, so in Search of Greatness, this will allow us to bring Yorion into play for free. So, that's not bad. Not bad at all. Sack the Trial. Because Omen we could blink. Citizen Chant. So this is the card I was thinking about getting because it has lifelink. It's a 3/3, but like I said, Frostbite can kill it. It's the reason why we didn't grab it. And worst case scenario, the Rallier was going to grab me the card anyways, so it doesn't really matter. So let's just do this. Yep, he's going to want to kill that 100% because we're just going to keep casting enchantments and getting it bigger and bigger and bigger. There's another Chandler. I don't think I want to cast this because it can only blink Omen right now. So I know it's a free cast, but it's not worth it. I'd rather just use Binding of the Gods and then blink Binding of the Gods down the road. I can even cast Otakaya here, or even play Knight of Autumn to gain life, or put counters on it. Like, there's so much I can do here, and I don't know. I could, yeah, it's another thing. I don't want to sack anything here because, so I want to keep Omen in play. So when I bring Yorion in play, I could blink it, draw a card. I don't want to sack In Search of Greatness because that allows me to bring Yorion in play for free. So there's a couple of things I don't want to do, and I don't want to do it yet. I want to do it next turn because I want to grab a land out of my deck first. So don't, like, I could have played Yorion this turn, so I could blink everything, but I want to grab a land out of my deck first before I blink it. Since In Search of Greatness is prior to putting counters on the Saga, it works that way. And we get to put more permanents in play here, so we get to do more damage, gain more life. Like, it's just gonna be, oh, okay, sure. Wizard's Lightning Strike, that's fine. Bazooka. Pass. Now he has no permanents in play. We don't really care. I could get Tulsimer to gain life. I could get Scarab God. Like, there's just, I'd rather just get Scarab God because, yep, game. I was like, Scarab God, grab Knight of Autumn, grab his creatures back. It's just too much. All right, that doesn't do anything. I don't think I have anything here against red, it looks like. I could bring in Yasharn, I guess, but as far as, okay, obviously the Disdainful Strokes are bad. You don't want to bring in Thoughtseize against red because you're taking life. Leyline and the Voids don't do anything. Destiny Sphere, I guess, is a 2/3 for 2. Yeah, I think maybe Yasharn for the, and bring in some Destiny Spinners just for blockers. Let's see. So I need, what, 2 cards. So Destiny Sphere. I could do a Yasharn here or just do 2 Destinies. Let's just do 2 Destinies. Yasharn is still 4 mana also. Yeah, and the bad part about Destiny Sphere is you don't get to bring it out of the deck with Enigmatic Incarnation. Enigmatic? But you don't get to bring it out with that, but that's fine. You don't really want to bring it out of the deck because of that. You just want to have an earlier drop in your deck to block their creature attacks. Since red is trying to burn you and then do some creature damage, if you could block some of the creature damage, then you're in a lot better position because they're usually not going to be able to burn you for 20 damage just with spells. So you want to be able to block stuff. This seems fine. We have a turn 2 play, a turn 3 play, and a possible turn 4 play. Like, yeah. See, this is what I mean. So get to Lava Runner is something that you don't want to be taking damage from because then it starts to pile on with the burn they're doing and you die faster. Like, it's a lot harder for them to do 20 points of burn to you. It's a lot easier for them to do it if they're attacking you and burning you. So let's play In Search of Greatness. And then we get to Scry. And the next turn play Otakaya, kill a card. And then In Search of Greatness allows us to play Binding of the Gods or Acolyte or Incarnation, play for free. And then on top of that, play another spell. So on turn, what is it? Turn 4, we get to play 8 mana worth of cards. Ooh, Yorion. But no, we have it in the Companion Zone if we need it. Okay, that's an interesting card, but I'm going to do this. I want to kill and deal some damage, gain some life back. We're at 12. We're going to go up to 15. Let's kill this. This way, so I killed the Get to Lava Runner here because either he loots with Magmatic Chandler and he doesn't attack me, or he attacks me and doesn't get to loot. And since he only is attacking me for 1, I'll take the 1, prevents him from looting. Alright, so what am I putting into play? Definitely, yeah, I think I save Binding of the Gods for when he casts the Chandra. And then I can cast, okay, another Trial. I could play Trial. Let's see. So I could play Trial, play Breeding Pool, tap so I don't take any damage. So let's see what they're gonna do. What you got, opponent? Lightning strike. Lightning strike. Sack. Breeding pool. Tap. We do need another land, though. We do need another land. I think I just sacked this trial here. I'm debating in case I want to. I could sack the oath. I was debating on oath or trial, but I think I'm just gonna sack the trial. Citizen champion or knight to gain life. Yeah, let's just gain life. Citizen champion, and then he Chandra's it. Frostbite. So if I would have taken Citizen champion, then it would have just died straight up. So I'm glad I took knight to gain some life. And then this doesn't matter. We have incarnate. We have bind. Okay, bottom that. Oh, actually, we need the land. Never mind. I was gonna bottom this, but I need the land, so never mind. Play land, Binding the Gods, Chandra, goodbye. I think we got this game. Locked up. There we go. We got this game locked up. Alright, let's play some 4-color enchantments in Historic. This deck is pretty cool. I mean, it utilizes the enchantments, and then with the enchantments, it brings out a bunch of creatures, and depending on what kind of creature you're looking for, it can grab anything really out of the deck, in a sense. It can either grab something to destroy artifact or enchantments, or it can gain life, or it can destroy a creature. I mean, there's just endless possibilities with the creatures that are in the deck. So let's see what happens. Mesa. It looks like we're probably playing against Jund Sacrifice, but I have 0 lands in my hand, so that's probably not going to work. So yeah, okay. 0 land hand, not going to work. Otherwise, I don't know. Let's see. We have Omen into a trial. I think this is fine. We can probably bottom the Yorion because we might need the Chupacabra. Even though we can't cast the Chupacabra at the moment, Omen might be able to get us there. And we have Yorion as a companion already. So if anything, worst case scenario, we can just grab it as a companion and then play it. Okay, maybe we're playing against the Rakdos. No, but why would they be playing? Why would they be playing this? This has to be Jund Sacrifice, I'm assuming, because it would make no sense to be playing. Yeah, see, Jund Sacrifice. So it would make no sense to be playing the what is it? The Rakdos Arcanist deck with this as your companion, because I don't think that does anything. So. Dreadhorde Butcher, yep. Okay. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Omen. I need the black mana, so I guess we keep the black mana. Unfortunately, I have to shock myself, but we gotta keep the black mana for now. There's the Yori. Well, we drew Yorion back again, I guess. I think he's just going to sack the Butcher, maybe. Yeah. Because there's no reason not to sack the Butcher here. So, let's see. We play this. We can grab Yorion, unless we draw another black source. Hopefully we draw another black source so we can play Chupacabra. Oh, no. He's probably just going to take Yorion now. But I guess it doesn't matter. We have another Yorion in our hand. Ooh, he took Chupacabra. Chupacabra. Chupe. Alright, well, we're just gonna play this, I guess. Play on the Trial of Ambition. Force him to sack the Valky, I guess. Since it doesn't really do anything for him to transform it. Because having a Chupacabra does absolutely nothing for him. We get the Chupacabra back, play this as our land drop. Now, when we play Yorion, though, we get to blink. So I'm assuming he's going to play another creature. And if he does, we get to just kill 2 of his creatures and, you know, scry and draw a card. So that's going to be pretty good. Obviously, if he has another Valky, then that whole plan goes out the window, because then he'll just take the Yorion. Okay, Woe Strider. So now he'll sack probably Woe Strider. No, he's gonna keep it so he can make a sack the Yorion. That's fine. I mean, I lose Yorion, but he loses his whole board. So, I mean, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Is he planning on using Priest of the... Oh, he's using it right now. I don't know if I would have used that, though. Because now I get to keep Yorion in play. All he did was make me take 2 damage, I guess, which is ovens. Sure. I don't know. Not really sure I would have personally have done that, but it's fine. If I could just draw Enigmatic, man, then we'd be looking in pretty decent shape. Because then I can grab, with it, I could grab Priest of the Forgotten, not Priest of the Forgotten, Knight of Autumn. I could destroy one of the Witch's Ovens. I can, so he's just going to sack Priest. Yep. But I get to scry here. Search of Greatness. Nope. Nope. Don't need either one of those. Well, don't need another land either, but okay. That's okay. So you could bring out Woe Strider here, I guess. Midnight Reaper, sure. Midnight Reaper. Alright, I'm going to start off with playing Omen here to see what I hit first. Because I might be able to hit a black land, then just play the black land. Force him to sack. I mean, it's a good card, but I'm looking for something better. That's definitely not better. That is definitely not better. No attacks, because I'm at 11. We're not going to win the game right now by attacking him. We're going to win the game by outvaluing him card advantage wise and then just winning through that way. How many cards does he have in his graveyard? He has 4 in the graveyard at the moment, so he can't bring Woe Strider out yet. And then if nothing happens here, okay, so he's, wait, oh, it costs 4 to exile. Well, all right, that's unfortunate, but we get to get rid of, oh, Renegade. All right, let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6. We got a 7 mana. 1 2 3 4. So we could play Chupacabra. That doesn't really help us out. We could use it to destroy the Midnight Reaper right away, though. And then, or I could flash Yorion, make him sack 2 creatures, but then he can just sack whenever none. I mean, he could just sack Woe Strider and the token. He'll just sack those to create the foods. He'll draw a card. He'll keep Midnight Reaper. Then the following turn I could do that, and I still get to, yeah, let's do that. And if he does actually sack with Trial Ambition and he sacks the Witch's Ovens, then he has to sack the Midnight Reaper. So I think we'll just do that. I could also take the risk and so we're going to keep this. Maybe I shouldn't have attacked, though. That might have been a mistake, actually. Now I'm going to take extra damage for no reason. But, because now, so it blanks everything. And then, actually, no, that's fine. Because I forgot it brings it in play untap. What am I thinking? Alright, so I need both of these cards. So I'm going to keep them. This gains me life and destroys me one of the Witch's Ovens. So we'll keep them both. I don't want this one, though. Don't want another land. I'm looking for reincarnation. So we're going to blink all of these again. So now look, if he sacks with Witch's Oven, he's going to have to get rid of Midnight Reaper. Sure. So he's going to sack
Now he's going to lose both Midnight Reaper and Woe Strider at least. I mean, he could obviously just sack him for Witch's Oven, but either way, his field clears open. And then we have this as life gain. We have Binding of the Gods to destroy something. Yep. Draw another card. It's fine. If he plays any creature here, you get to just straight up eat it again, because at the end of the step, the 4 cards come back. He's going to add this to his hand. Yep. And then these come back. Alright. Yep, no creatures, so we get to just do some scrying. Okay, don't need 2 lands. We have plenty of that. There we go. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, Scarab God's a good card too. I feel like I should keep both. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bottom Scarab God, and then Binding of the Gods. Huh. Actually, I think I'm gonna bottom both of them. The reason why is because I can play Binding the Gods to destroy one of them, right? Then I can play Incarnation, and then I can sack it, worst case scenario, to, you know, bring the god back to the hand. All right, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This would make it 8. So let's play this. I'm going to destroy one of the Witch's Oven. Then I'm going to sack one of the Trials to grab Knight of Autumn and destroy another one. That way he has no Witch's Ovens in play. No, I'm not going to attack. Just going to hold it back for a second. Dun, 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 dun. Here you are. This should destroy target artifact or enchantment. Get rid of all these Witch's Ovens. I mean, he does have 4 tokens, you know, for the cat, whatever, but Woe Strider, sure. He might, I mean, yeah, he's going to have that card to steal. Yep, that's fine. I mean, okay. Wouldn't you rather just, I guess he just wants to attack in case I don't block or something? It's like, okay. Sure. One to the bottom. Odd, but okay. Well, we can kill that. How much black do I have? I have 2 black, so I need more black here. More black mana. Which one do I want, though? I could keep these because they scry. I mean, not scry, but they cycle. But I'm going to grab one of them. Alright, let's see. So, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, possible 9 mana. So I can play this, target, say, this, sack this, play Renegade, bring it back, and then use sack one of the Trials to grab, say, like Skyclave Apparition or something like that, and I can take this. Alright, let's do that. So Otakaya, we gain some life. Can also sack the Otakaya to go grab a 4-drop. Let's kill the Woe Strider and gain some life. Let us play the planes. 1, 2, 3. So let's us activate this. Don't need either one of those. Let's play this. Trigger. I could bring Trial of Ambition back, but he just sacks this, so that doesn't do anything. I'm just gonna bring back the Omen. Don't need either one of these. Okay, it's another land. I'm gonna attack now, because I'm gonna go grab another card here. All right. Like I said, I could grab sack the Omen to go and grab, say, like what's it called? The could also sack this. Grab a 5-drop. Grab like Golos. I could sack this. Go grab a Yorion. But then I'm already at end step, so that might not work here. But I already got the second effect of it, so yeah. Let's do that. Alright. Actually, no, let's grab Tulsimer. Forgot about Tulsimer. Let's fight this. Completely forgot about Tulsimer. I'm like, hold on. I mean, yeah, obviously grabbing Yorion would be good here, but I need to kill the priest just to keep stuff off the board, prevent him from sacking. I gained life. I added another 6 power to the board. Probably may have like a Valky here to play Tibble or something. But if he does, it's like, is he just playing Rakdos Sacrifice? Like, this seems like it's just Rakdos Sacrifice. I'm not seeing any green mana from him. Interesting. Very odd. There's another claim. Sure. We can go ahead and block here, I guess. We'll do a trade. Play Chupacabra, kill off the Woe Strider. Chupacabra! Kill off the Woe Strider, force him to start sacking. Obviously, he's going to sack these tokens, I'm assuming. Start scrying. Resolves. See, we can hold these now to start scrying, or start drawing cards, I should say. Kept one on top. I mean, I'm at 17, so we're definitely attacking here with both creatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many cards does he have? He has 4 in the graveyard. Okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 6 already there. So let's just play this tapped and pass turn. Do we want? Yeah, let's do this because we have Gonti since he left the card on top. He left the card on top, so let's do this for Gonti. Let's see what he left on top. Yep, he just decided to concede. I wonder what he left on top, though. I'm kind of curious, but since he left it on top, let's just go ahead and kill it and get rid of it now. All right, so we definitely want Leyline of the Voids here since he's a graveyard deck, obviously. Clearly, you want that. You definitely want Yasharn here since he's a sacrifice deck as well. Protection from white doesn't do us anything here. This is more better against the, the black-white auras deck. You bring this in and it can block the black-white aura guy permanently, pretty much. Obviously, they can use cards to kill it, but it's also good against goblins. So, I'm thinking Thoughtseize maybe here. Let's see what do we have. What do we want out? Your Yark is good because it triggers your effects multiple times. So that might be a possibility not to take out. Search of Greatness. It's definitely a good card. So that's the tough part. It's like, what do you take out? You know what I mean? Okay, so I'm gonna cut Archon. I'm gonna cut one Yorion. Let's see. You gotta be careful not to cut too many creatures though, because then you don't really then this incarnation, it's not bringing anything out. So you have to be careful on that. I'm gonna cut the Renegade Rallier though, just because it could only grab these, and if they don't disappear the same turn, then it's not gonna trigger it. What else? This is good and not. I mean, the exile clause is what you want. It's really what you want only is the exile clause, but you bring in Leyline of the Voids. Maybe I just cut one of those. All right, let's try that. 80 cards. I was debating on bringing in Thoughtseize or not, but definitely good. But it's definitely like, it's only 2 of them, 80 cards. What are the chances you draw it in the first place? All right, so There's the Yark that I was debating on taking out. Since they're kind of slowish, I'm going to keep, because I can play Binding of the Gods, kill something, and then play Incarnation to sack it and grab some 5-drop card. Could grab like a Golos or something, and that's a very good draw for us. Now we have a turn 2 play, a turn 4 play. I mean, yeah, either way, because we could play this turn 2 to play this, and then we play this turn 3 regardless, so. Ooh, Omen. But we're going to make him sack this Priest of the Forgotten Gods. No way, we're not letting him keep it. And we still have a turn 3 play anyways. So now we can play this tapped and play this on our turn 3 regardless. And then the following turn, we play this into Binding the Gods or play this. Either way, we need to do something. Well. If we play this, he just sacks this. But it gets rid of, so we're just not going to do that. We're just going to play that and keep the Omen up. Keep Omen. Well, at least on the bright side, when we do sack the... Whoa, that's odd. When we do sack... One to the bottom. When we do sack Binding of... Whoa, look at that. When we sack the Binding of the Gods, we can grab like Yorion now and blink our cards. So we'll have at least this to blink. That's pretty good. We'll have 2 cards to blink. So that would be pretty good. Ooh, Gonti. I think I might need the land here, but I don't know if I want the Gonti. Gonti is good. Steals a card. What am I playing on my turn is the question. I could play the land, play Gonti, since he added that card to his hand. That might be fine. Sure. Gonti could block this card at worst case scenario as well. So let's just do that. All right. Well, I'm pretty sure I just take Thoughtseize. Interesting that he kept the claim to the firstborn still left in the deck. So now we can play Binding of the Gods against, I'm assuming, this 5-drop here, yeah. And then we can play Thoughtseize against his hand. Yeah, interesting now. Could just play Deputy into Trial. Then I get to take both his cards. And if he kills, say, Deputy and he just gets the Woe Strider back, we'll play Trial, see what he sacks. Play Binding of the Gods, force him to do it on this. Force him to sack this and then play Thoughtseize on him. I think I'd rather do this, though. It sets up the board better, I guess. Into, like, next turn. Let's see what he sacks. I'm assuming he's sacking the Woe Strider here. Maybe. Since that's a 5-drop. Then we could just take this card here now. Might as well attack. We know one of the claim to the firstborns went to the bottom of the deck, so we know he has one less card that he can use to take our Deputy. But, I mean, he could just have... Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so let's play this. Let's kill the Witch's Oven. Let him not have Witch's Oven. Could have played the Incarnation and just gone off with that, but I want to use it to grab Yorion and start blinking these cards. Yep, that's fine. Alright, that's a land. Enters tap, but then that means he can't now use his to draw cards, so that's fine with me. He can't attack because Gonti has Death Touch. So either way, it doesn't work out for him. Noxious Grass. Destroy target creature, planeswalker with green or white. Okay. Yep. But we get to just bring out Yorion here, and then we get to blink everything and clear his board just about again. I guess he doesn't know that we have Yorion in our hand, so I guess that makes sense. Or he doesn't know that we have Incarnation in our hand, I guess. What am I saying? 1, 2... 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, this is going to be nuts. All right. I have 2 white. I have a bunch of that. Let's just grab this. All right. This is gonna be a sick turn because we're gonna get rid of every single card he has in play. Do I even need to play that? Yes. Because if I blink this, yeah, I do need to play that. This gets rid of all the creatures. So he can't scry here because if he does, then he has to sacrifice Woe Strider or something else. Then we just play this. We sack the binding. Oh no, it doesn't work that way. I forgot. Comes in play at end step. No attacks. Let's sack the binding. Obviously, I have to grab this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Boom. There we go. All right, let's try some Enigmatic Incarnation 4-color enchantment deck in Historic. Let's see how this deck works out. So far, it's been pretty good. I think I'm currently like 5 or 6-1 or something like that. So obviously, I'm just starting to play again, and we're only in platinum. But I'm pretty sure this deck would easily get us to like, what's it called, Mythic or something. All right, we have 4 lands. We have a 2 mana play, a 4 mana play. I'll keep this hand. So we play this tapped. Then we could play the blue land for this, and then we could play Drowned Catacomb untapped, and then we could play this untapped. So we have our lands. We can do everything currently. So play the blue land. It looks like we're playing against maybe Gruul Aggro, I'm assuming. Because Stomping Ground, I mean, it could be Jund actually. Okay, it's Jund. Oh no! Okay, I guess we're playing Omen. Citizen Champion. Interesting. Do I want Citizen Champion? So if I want Citizen Champion, that means I have to draw the land. But I don't know if I want Citizen Champion. I don't think I do. I think I'm just going to bottom both. Oh, dun 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 dun. It's tough. So if I keep the land, all right, we're just going to keep the land, play Citizen Champion. I have a feeling that he's probably going to get rid of either Gonti or Yorion here. He could get rid of Binding of the Gods, but I doubt that. So we play Citizen Champion. If he doesn't have a way to kill the champion, we could just play Binding of the Gods and then draw a card off it. We don't get to destroy anything, but we get to... okay. Well, that plan went out the window. No, never mind. But I was going to play Binding of the Gods. Are you playing the land destruction deck? He's playing the land destruction deck. Alright, so he's playing the land destruction deck. I want to reveal that I drew Breeding Pool. This should be interesting. I haven't played against land destruction, so... well, he gets to destroy my... yep. Because then if I blink the Omen, so... alright, Yorion, blink Omen. This is not looking that good for us at the moment. Yeah, don't need either one of these. Okay. I mean, double Thoughtseize was pretty darn good for him, so... he's adding mana, so he's going to destroy our land. Pretty sure he's going to destroy one of our lands here. Yep. Yep. Made sense. Alright. Oh, wow. We don't even have black mana now. Oh, wow. Alright, that's game. Casualties of War. Interesting. We don't even have black mana. Alright, so Thoughtseize. I think we want Disdainful Strokes. Okay, so I don't think they're playing really creatures. I'm going to cut the Trials. I'm going to cut some Othakayas. I'm going to cut the Chupacabra. Alright, let's try that. Let's give that a try. That was unfortunate that they had turn 1 Thoughtseize into turn, or I should say turn 2 Thoughtseize into turn 3 Thoughtseize into turn 4 Chandra into turn. Ugh. That's not good. It's a little better, but also not good. But we gotta keep this. Guess I'm gonna bottom that. But yeah, turn 2 Thoughtseize, turn 3 Thoughtseize, turn 4 Chandra, turn 5 destroy, casualties. It was kind of brutal. But yikes. Well, we need to draw some action here. Otherwise, it's not looking good. So we're just playing against, it looks like, Jund land destruction, I guess, whatever you want to call it. But it's land destruction. Because of that one land, obviously, Sultai casualties, explore. Yep, that land. Since you see that land, that most likely means, wow, well, I need lands, so that's not going to be any help. So let's just play this and grab Yorion. I don't think life is really going to matter against him right now, so yeah, so you destroy target land. It requires what? Double green and red? It's 6. Thoughtseize again? Alright. We currently can't really play any cards in our hand, so that's unfortunate. Unless we draw something, there's nothing we can play. I mean, I guess I could play Oath of Kaya or this, but that doesn't really do anything. It's not great. It's not great. And he had a Thoughtseize again. Looks like we're going to be losing this game. There's Chandra. Oh, we could destroy it with Binding of the Gods. So that's kind of fine. That's what we're looking for, Incarnation. So that way we can start utilizing our, enchantments here. Binding of the Gods to destroy Binding of the Gods. Well, we could use Binding of the Gods to destroy the other Binding of the Gods. He's missing a land. I'm assuming he's looking for a land so he could play, what is it? The Casualties of War. Alright, so I have double white. I need, just in case, I need double black and this one. And then we'll play this. We'll sack this. I could grab Yorion, but that doesn't do anything. I'm going to grab Golas here instead. Grab us a land. Thinking World Tree here, so that way then I'll have almost access to every color mana. One more land and I'll have access to all the colors. Wait, did that give me access to all the colors? Does it 6 more? So yeah. Okay, now he's gonna play Casualties. Artifact, enchantment, land. And we're gonna lose our Incarnation, I guess. Yep. Well, we drew another one, I guess. So I'm gonna play this instead and play Nightmare and Search of Greatness. I need a land because he's just gonna kind of try to keep destroying my lands. Okay, what 3-drop do I want? Don't think so. So we'll just play this. Force him to use Casualties on, say, Nightmare in our land. And then we'll play Incarnation. If he doesn't do that, then, yeah, look, he's going to destroy that, I guess. There's another Casualties, which is fine. It's not great, but it's fine. Alright, so 3-drop or 4-drop. We're going to go for 4-drop because we have Gunty in the deck. We can also get this. Let's see what's in here real fast. We could get that to get Golas, and then Golas could trigger to get another card. So yeah, let's do this. Grab Golas. Where are you? Golas grabs us another land, or I could just grab the land. I think we're just going to grab Golas. So we have black, white, blue, green. We're missing red. We're missing red. Could also grab Yorion. And then start blinking. I'm going to grab actually Yorion. Because if he uses, say, another, what is it? Yep, that's fine. You can destroy one of my lands. Sure. We could blink Yorion, bring a bunch of stuff back. Waking the Trolls. Alright, so let's attack first. I could just destroy it, I guess, and then hold up. Yeah, let's just do that. So, destroy target artifact or enchantment. I can sack one of these, bring a 3-drop out. I'm trying to think what 3-drop. I'm going to decline. I'm going to hold up Disdainful Stroke here. I guess the only bad part would have been is, obviously would have been if he destroyed one of my lands, then I wouldn't have been able to play. Oh no, I attacked like an, oh. I'm so bad. Oh, messed up. I punted. All right. Well, no, that was a. I knew about that. I shouldn't have. I don't know what I was thinking. All right, let's sack this. All right, I'm gonna grab Yorion here, so I can start blinking a lot of these things. They'll come back. They'll trigger, and I blinked the Incarnation out too because I don't want him to destroy it. So that's why I did that. So like if he has, say, I don't know, something like another another, what is it, the one card, then it's fine. All right, so we're gonna keep the lands. It doesn't really matter. We're gonna keep them because we need lands. He just keeps destroying our lands. Don't want that one though. All right, what am I grabbing here? I could grab another Binding of the Gods. I did mill off one of my 5-drops. I milled off 2 of my 5-drops. Don't think there's any more 5-mana card. I could grab this. I think I'm going to grab this, actually. Use it to destroy Mind Stone. And then I'll hold up Disdainful Stroke. And then I'll use this to... I could also play In Search of Greatness, but that's fine. Okay, so now, since we sacked that, we can use Renegade Rallier to bring it back. So, ooh. Do I want the Omen? I think I'll take the World Tree, actually, instead. I'll take the World Tree instead. We could Yorion Blink, the Acolyte of Affliction. Use that to bring back Golas. We can do some stuff now. Alright, so I gotta be careful, once again, when I attack, because he can do that thing again. So let's do this. Let's do this. It says when it enters the battlefield, if permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, return a target. So permanent left battle this turn. Okay. Alright, we got that one. Alright, let's see. Is there anything I'm changing from what we saw? I don't think so. I mean, let's see. As long as we don't get Thoughtseize a lot, I mean, I think we're fine. I mean, we battled through a Thoughtseize, a Chandra, Binding Gods, 2 casualties that got, I think it was 3 triggers on each of them. Waking the Trolls destroyed our land. That destroyed our land. So we did battle through a lot. But I don't think we're changing anything here. I could actually add the Yasharn actually. So that way I can, like, I don't think I need this. The Yasharn allows me to grab land. Since these Yasharn are lands, I do want that. And like I said, the Chupacabra or the Archon's not really doing anything. So let's do that. Since he's a land destruction deck, Yasharn will help us grab the lands that, you know, obviously he's going to destroy our lands, and then Yasharn will go grab us 2 lands. Opponent goes first. Dun, 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 dun. Opponent kept the hand. I gotta keep. We have Disdainful Stroke. We have Omen. Leyline of the Void. That doesn't do anything against me. It's kind of odd. I mean, what graveyard recursion do I have? I mean, Scarab God and the Renegade Rallier? Otherwise, it doesn't do anything. Interesting that he brought that in. Alright, so this is white, so we can play this and it gives us the blue mana. That way we don't have to shock ourselves for Breeding Pool. Now we can hold up Omen and Disdainful Stroke. And we have the 4th mana for Gonti as well. Yeah, it's kind of odd that he brought in Leyline of the Void. Huh. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have technically 6 lines, so I don't need those. A of 6 lands. Okay. Let's see. What am I playing? I don't think I'm playing anything, so I'm just going to play the World Tree and then hold up Disdainful Stroke here. And then next turn play Gonti. And then the following turn play Yorion. Come on. He's going to take my Gonti now. Yep. Well, we still have Disdainful Stroke and Yorion, I guess, but come on, opponent. Always with that, huh? So I can do that, but the problem would be if I play it, then I might just die. So I'm just going to hold up Disdainful Stroke one more turn. Escape to the Wilds with Disdainful Stroke that for 100%. 100% will Disdainful Stroke that. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I can go grab. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna take both his cards so that way he has nothing in play. So sack this. We're gonna grab. So I could grab Deputy, take both of the things, take both the Mind Stones. So now he's stuck at 4 mana. He hasn't been hitting land drops. The bad part here would be if he has Chandra, because then Chandra could just, oh, come on, man. No. That's so sick. Come on. That was so sick. Now my hand's just garbage. That's so sick. How does he do it? How does he do it, opponent? How does he do it? Alright, we're casting Yorion, I guess. It doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. But how does he do it? Come on, man. I was like, well, if he has Chandra. Otherwise, I would have just grabbed, what's it called? He doesn't have double black, so that's kind of lucky for me. Oh, he can't do it. So I could kill Chandra. If he can't kill my Yorion, but he has, looks like he has something to kill my Yorion since he's highlighting it. If he doesn't kill Yorion, so we're looking okay-ish. Oh, there you go. What do you got? Wow, destroy target non-basic land. Deals 2 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. Okay. Sure. That is fine. Alright. Let's see. Play this. I could play Otakaya on the Chandra and then attack him for 4. So kill this. Combat. Attack you. And then I'm going to sack this for Yasharn so you can't sack these anymore. Sack this. Oh, but I also gotta be careful. This is whenever you're... Players can't pay life or sacrifice non-land permanents to cast spells or activate abilities. But this prevents him from sacking the Mind Stones. And it gives me 2 lands. And I have 8 on board. So, with the Disdainful Stroke. This prevents him from drawing cards, so... Let's go to combat. Let's play Thoughtseize. See what you got, opponent. Well, look at these. We'll take the Blood Chief here. Since we have Disdainful Stroke against the casualties. Pretty sure we win the game. It's game over. Even if he draws the other black source, we have Disdainful Stroke. He can't sack these, so good game, opponent. That was close. That was close. Yeah, I'm not sure about the Leyline of the Voids, but I guess he did see Graveyard Recursion in my deck, so... But I wouldn't have brought that in personally, but that's just me.
Alright, let's play some Incarnation, 4-color Incarnation in Historic. I'm actually liking this deck a lot in Historic. I think it's very, very good in Historic at the moment. I think it might be weak to a little bit of control, but I mean, there's not much you can really do about that. So, can't be good against all the decks. And it looks like the decks that are being currently played in Historic are like Jund Sacrifice, Rakdos Arcanist, Grow Aggro kind of fell off a little bit, but it's still one of the more popular decks. So, if there's not that much control, this deck is very solid. This deck is also not bad against control. It's just the counter spells. It's kind of tough to fight around. All right. So this is definitely a keepable hand. Omen, Kaya, Incarnation. So definitely keeping this hand. It looks like we're playing against Rakdos Arcanist here. Yep, there's Dreadhorde Arcanist. All right, so we're just going to play Kaya on it then. So looks like we got a turn 2, turn 3. Possible and a turn 4 play. Let's see. Don't think I need In Search of Greatness. Debating on if I need the Breeding Pool. I'm pretty sure I need the Breeding. No, actually, because I have my 4th land, right? So, okay, yeah, I have my 4th land, so I didn't need that. I needed the white. Is what I really needed, and so that's why I bottomed the cards, and so we'll see. It would have been maybe bad if I didn't have the ability to kill Arcanist in case he had like Thoughtseize, but if he had Thoughtseize, he would have played that turn 1, because then he can cast and play that. So I just wanted to get rid of the Arcanist still, though. If we didn't get rid of Arcanist, we would have just played the Triumph and then played the Kaya, but that's fine. All right, so Cruxa, discard Archon here. Don't really need Archon against them. So, let's see. What does he have? He could return. Okay, he could return that. So I guess we then... Oh, well, okay. I was going to play Binding of the Gods, but we drew Nightmare. So now I'm playing Nightmare instead. Never mind. I can play this tap now. Now we got our 4 mana. And we get to... peek their hand, discard a card, exile the graveyard. So we have a lot of... Elspeth's Nightmare is amazing against this Rakdos Arcanist deck. It pretty much hits all their creatures just about, and then it exiles the graveyard. So yeah, see, he didn't have Thoughtseize in his hand. Otherwise, he would have played it prior to the, Dreadhorde Arcanist, because then he could use Arcanist to recast it. So I think I just take claim to the... claim here, not to the claim to the first board, claim and fame, because the other cards are just creature either removal or creature steal, and I don't really care about those cards. Dun, dun, dun. I'm debating on if I play this. I guess I could play this and just grab the Rallier. So if I play this, sack the Omen, because I don't want to sack the Nightmare, because I want to exile their graveyard, and then grab the Rallier, and the Rallier then could grab me the Omen back. Double Yoris, huh? I don't need 2. I'll take 1, but I don't need 2. Don't need 2. The reason why I kept Yori on here is because I'm going to sack the Nightmare to its effect, so I can exile the graveyard. And if they don't kill the Rallier, I can use, since Revolt triggers, I can use it to bring something back, as well as blinking Othakaya and Omen off the field. But I'm pretty sure he's just, oh, it's a 3 cost. He can't kill it. He can steal it, but that doesn't do any. That was odd. Okay. I think he forgot that he didn't have enough mana? Huh. I don't have anything I could blink, or I could get back from earlier. Never mind. Whatever. I can just play Binding on the Gods then instead and just kill Loras. I can play Yorion, Blink Oath. I feel like doing this would be better, because then I can then use get the land and then blink to get the lands. Do I want to do? Actually, I could grab Yasharn here so he can't sack. Right? If I sack the Othakaya here, I could grab Yasharn, and then he can't use this the Harvest card, whatever it's called, and I grab 2 lands as well. So now he can't use the Spell Harvest or whatever. Like, he could steal this, sure. He can't sack though. So I think he doesn't realize that you with Yasharn you can't sack, because he just straight up stole that. Now he's reading Yasharn. Yep, and now he can't use Blood Chief as well because he doesn't have the 4th mana to kill Yasharn. He should have just used Blood Chief on Yasharn and then just let it go through. So, but it is what it is, and what it is, it is. But anyway, so the next turn, if he wouldn't have done what he did, I don't know what he's just going to concede, because, like, what's going on? But my next turn would have been, well, let's find out if he concedes or not, because I could still possibly do the play if he decides to keep playing on, because he's just taking a long time. Okay, there you go. It's like he just keeps highlighting the cards, like, okay. All right, so we're playing against the Rakdos Arcanist deck. Definitely want Leyline of the Voids. Definitely want Yasharn. I'm debating on Thoughtseize, but let's see if we have room for it first. So I'll add it and see. Let's see, what do I not want against Rakdos Arcanist? So I don't think I need the Knight here because they're not playing the artifacts. I don't need Archon here. What else? Yarok. I could cut maybe one in Search of Greatness too. It's not great to cut it, but actually maybe I don't even need the Thoughtseize here. Maybe I just cut the Thoughtseizes back. Just leave them in the sideboard. I mean, Thoughtseize is really only there against control, I guess. Okay, so if we cut Thoughtseize, I could cut one Yorion. We're at 81. Should I just run it at 81? Let's just see what happens at 81. I am a plant. I'm playing against a plant player. He's a plant. He's gonna let me win. It's a plant, guys. It's a plant. He's a plant player. Ooh. I have a turn 3 and a turn 4 play. And if I take too many mulligans, I might get Thoughtseize out. So we're gonna keep. We are going to keep. Stitcher Supplier, sure. If we mold too much, we might just lose to just the infinite moles. And then they could just Thoughtseize, Dreadhorde Thoughtseize, or Cruxas, you know what I mean? So that's the downfall to mulling against this Rakdos deck. Take one. Take uno. We drew another land. Okay. Drew another land. Well, if he discards something, we have something to give up again. We have another land to give up. Adding Loras to his hand. What's in his hand that he added Loras to his hand? Like, what are those 4 other cards that, you know what I mean? Let's see. Play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're not going to discard. So if I play the land and then grab Yorion. I was going to play Temple Garden, but then I realized he discarded a card off Cruxa, so I'm not discarding to hand size, so let's add Yorion to our hand. Since we don't have another play that we could really play that would be beneficial for us, so we'll just grab Yorion. Another Stitcher Supplier. Bedevil. Okay, Tolsimer is an interesting card. Do I want? I don't want to play Binding of the Gods against one of these Stitcher suppliers. I also don't want to really deputy one of these Stitcher suppliers. But do I just Binding? Ugh. It's a 1/1, and it mills them more cards is the problem. It's like, is it worth it? I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. Could deputy the 2 Stitcher suppliers, I guess. But the problem with doing this is he's gonna mill. Like, if he kills my deputy, he mills a lot of cards. And he wants to self mill. Okay, well, village rights. All right. Okie dokie. And just play Temple Garden tapped and pass turn. We have next turn. We have Tolsimer to battle the Loras if he decides to cast the Loras, or we have battle the Stitcher supplier. Or we could do one or the other. One way. He can also if he casts Cruxa, we have the what is it? The Binding of the Gods to kill it. Yep. So Cruxa. All right. Cruxa. Discard land, I think, since I technically have access to 6 mana. He could bring Cruxa back again. That sucks. Lots of Cruxas. That's why I need the ley lines. The ley lines. Kill this. At least we could discard Deputy of Detention. Next, if he brings Cruxa out again, we could discard Deputy. Then we can use either Yori's or Tolsimer to either fight or blink. We'll see. It's going to bring it out again. It looks like he's looking to bring it out. Cruxa. Those Stitcher suppliers are doing work for him, I guess. But this is currently the last. He only has one card in the grave. This is currently the last one. Unless he can, obviously, if he kills Stitcher supplier, then he mills 3 more cards. But that's only going to be 4, so Cruxa wouldn't be able to come out. But if he has like village rights, I guess, or something. All right, let's grab a land. We don't really need to cycle here because we don't have that many lands in play, and we're not playing against control. So let's just do that. Yori's, blink. Let's destroy Cruxa and deputy the Archfiend. Because if I deputy the Stitcher supplier, if he kills my deputy, he mills again. I'm pretty sure I'd take the Archfiend. So, because if I would have taken the Stitcher supplier, then if he kills deputy, he mills again. And then if Stitcher dies, he mills again. So I don't want to really be giving him access to another 6 cards in the graveyard. So Cruxa will come out again and again and again and again. Young P. So that must mean he has a spell in his hand to cast. Because otherwise he would probably have casted maybe Loras. Yep. So he's debating on which one to kill. Okay. I mean, that's fine. That's fine. We have Tolsimer. Tolsimer could kill Young P. Young P. Spark Harvest. Okay. Well, he's filling his graveyard again. Good thing is that we kind of know what's in his hand. The bad thing is we kind of know what's in his hand. So, having Loras is a pretty powerful card. And then with the amount of mana he has, he can easily bring it out. He can bring out Cruxa the turn he casts Loras. Then the following turn he could bring out Cruxa as an actual creature if he wanted to. So he has a lot of gas. He has a lot of gas at the moment. Let's see what he does. I think he brings out Cruxa though, as a creature already. You know what I mean? I don't think he brings it out as a Loras creature. I I think he brings out Cruxer with an escape. Let's see what he does. He's looking at his graveyard. He's highlighting his graveyard. So I'm pretty sure that means he's bringing it out. So if he brings it out, what am I giving up? I think I give up Trial of Ambition here just because of the tokens. It's not good against the tokens. So, like, it doesn't do anything. If I play Trial, he just sacks the 1/1 Pyromancer tokens. At least in Search of Greatness, I can use it to scry. Alright. So can't do anything. Huh. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I play Yasharn, I can go grab 2 lands, which will give me access to play Binding of the Gods. But if I play Binding of the Gods, the question is, which one am I binding? Am I binding... I think I'm binding the Loras here, so that way I can triple block the Cruxa. So binding the Loras. Now I can triple block the Cruxa. And he can't sack anything because we have Yasharn in play. So he can't play like Village Rites. He can't play the Harvest. And his removal is pretty much stuff like that. So triple block. And the reason why I want to triple block here is because let's say he has 1 removal. If I double block with, say, Tolsimer and the token, if he has a removal, he kills my thing. And then I don't get to kill Cruxa. But if I triple block, I get to kill Cruxa even through 1 removal. Nightmare, huh? It's an interesting card, but also a bad card. The reason being is if I kill the Vessel or the Young P, then he could bring Cruxa back out. Ugh. Yeah, so he has 5 cards in his graveyard. Technically 4, so Cruxa is not able to come out yet. And unfortunately, I have to kill this token. That's... oh, man. Alright. Okie dokie. If I kill the... like I said, I want to kill the Young Pyro. But I don't want to let him to play Cruxa again. Ugh, that's brutal. I guess now I have to technically block the Young Pyromancer and go to 3? Dang. That Scourge of the Skyclaves, huh? Alright. That was a card. That was a really strong card to draw. It's a tough decision. If only my Nightmare would have been on the 3rd effect to exile. Alright. Yarok. No. I mean, it has Death Touch and Lifelink. But he gets to play Cruxa, and then what do I do? Yorion, no! Because the Binding of the Gods. So he has Village Rites. He can't do it, though, because of Yasharn. No, if Binding of the Gods wouldn't have left play, we're going to kill the Scourge. Alright, we lost this one. I'm at 3. Cruxa is going to kill me just by itself. So, there's no point. Alright, let's see. 81. Should I bring it down to 80 here? I could cut out Yarok, maybe. No, because it gives me the double triggers. I can cut maybe the Search and Greatness, because it kind of didn't do anything, that last one. Kind of had it, and it didn't do anything. It's good if you have it on turn 2, but then when you draw it later in the game, like there, that last match, or that last game I said, it just didn't do anything. It scried me a card, you know. I had no cards in my hand. I couldn't put anything into play for free, so... oh well. It's 1-1. We got game 1. They got game 2. Time for some game 3 action. Let's see. I mean, I don't know if this guy is playing... I'm assuming he's playing the Death Shadow Rakdos version, because if he's playing the Scourge, why wouldn't you be playing Death Shadow also? Especially since he did the what's it called, effect. Alright, we're gonna keep. We have Omen and Trial and Nightmare. Omen allows us to grab land 3, so we can play Nightmare, and then hopefully by then, with 2-3 draw phases, we're also gonna grab another land, so we can play then either hopefully Chupacabra, I guess, because it's a blocker slash creature destroyer, but either way, our hand's solid enough to keep. The only bad problem would be okay, good. It's like the only bad problem would have, but this hand would have been like a Thoughtseize. That would have spilled. So here's that In Search of Greenness that we cut one. We don't even have double green. I guess having double green would have been. No, I don't know. This hand, actually, with this hand, it might have been fine because then we could have used it to cast Nightmare and then Nightmare to cast Chupacabra and then Chupacabra to cast Scarab God. So this matchup, it would have been technically fine, but. Or, I mean, this game, it would have been technically fine. Alright, so we definitely need the Glacial Fortress. Do I need the Deputy? I don't think so. I think I need more lands. So I'm going to bottom the Deputy, grab the land, and try to draw another land after that. We get 2 draw phases to draw land. Okay, there we go. We had 2 draw phases to draw land. So I need to start exiling his graveyard before he could play Cruxa. This mills some cards, which is fine. But I'm going to be able to possibly get rid of... No, actually I won't. Because he plays mana 3 and then mana 4. But we have Trial. We have Ravenous Chupacabra. Nope, can't play Ravenous because we don't have double black. So we have Trial. Village Rights. Ooh, he's missing land drops. That is good for us. That he's sacking like that. I'm sure he has a land. It just probably comes in tapped or something. Young P. Young P. Alright. I don't even care if he looks at my hand. I don't have any creatures. So Blood Chief I don't care for. I don't care for Thoughtseize because my hand is pretty good already. I think I just take the claim here so that he can't grab the Dreadhorde Arcanist back. And we drew the next black source, so we get to play the Chupacabra. So now if he brings out the Cruxa, he can only bring out Cruxa once now because we get to exile the graveyard. So that's what I was saying. Even if he brought out, say, Cruxa this last turn, it wouldn't have mattered because we get to exile the graveyard. So we only got to bring it back once. Scarab God, I assume. Yep. Yeah, and that's the other thing. I didn't care what he got rid of. That was a great draw. That was a pretty solid draw. I mean, we could have played In Search of Greatness also, so it didn't really matter. But that was a really solid draw. Now we could go grab Rallier. Rallier gets us a free card. Bring back this Omen. Rallier is such a beast with Incarnation. I might have to put a second one of this guy in there. Like with Omen, he's such a beast. Sack Omen, grab Rallier, grab Omen back. It's just a free creature and then a free draw. Kills my Rallier. Grab Yorion, play In Search of Greatness, play land tap, pass. We sack a card actually. What am I saying? Sack Omen, sack Trial. I think we sack Trial because with Omen we get to blink. Let's grab Citizen Champion. Yeah, because we can play Binding the Gods next turn and then draw and kill. So let's grab Citizen Champion. I think this game is locked up now though, but. So, see, game 1, and even in game 2 where we lost, that was very close. But then at the end, the Scourge got us. Also, he brought out Cruxa like 4 times in game 1, so that's that too. Alright, hey YouTube, welcome to the Sideboard Guide. Thanks for watching the gameplay and the intro. Let's get into what everybody is looking for, the Sideboard Guide, and how I sideboard and what I do against certain matchups. So I'm going to give you a Sideboard Guide against 4 or 5 decks that are being played the most at the moment. Obviously, the decks being played the most change week by week. But in the current meta, in the past 7 to 10 days, this is what the top 5 decks that are being played currently in the meta. Obviously, one deck is going to be more popular than the other, but this is just a general sense of, and obviously I'm not going to put it in the order of which deck is the most popular. I'm just going to give you a sideboard guide to the 5 most popular decks being played currently in the meta, and these are the decks you'll most likely see. But before we get into that, thanks for subscribing, watching the video, giving that like, dropping comments, giving me feedback. To all the people who are new, if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe, that like button, the notification, so you get to see I post videos weekly, usually 3 to 4 videos a week. So yep, let's go ahead and get to the sideboard guide. So the first deck I'm going to give you a sideboard guide to is obviously going to be blue-white control. You're going to see blue-white control, so there's like nothing you can really do about it. And so what I like to do so the problem with blue-white, this deck is very weak to blue-white control. And like I said, it's one of the 5 decks that are being played. There's nothing you could really do about it. You can't say your deck is going to be great against every deck. It's just, unfortunately, you just can't do it. So we have a decent amount of cards in the sideboard for blue-white control. So it's still not going to be a great matchup, but this is what it is. So against blue-white control, I bring in 2 Thoughtseize, 3 Disdainful Strokes, 2 Destiny Spinners, and I take out 4 Trial Ambition, 1 Ravenous Chupacabra, 1 Archon, and 1 Oath of Kaya. So the reason, so obviously you bring in Thoughtseize because you want to pick out their hand, take out their counter spells. Disdainful Strokes, you want to be able to counter Teferi or a hard cast Shark Typhoon or something like along those lines. You want to counter that. And Destiny's Spinner is very good against control because her passive says your instants and sorceries, or not your instants and sorceries, your creatures and enchantments can't be countered. That's the main reason you want it. It's a 2-drop. Obviously it has another effect of your enchantments become, X whatever's. So it's a actual win condition too. But the main reason you want Destiny Spinner is for the fact that your enchantments and creatures can't be countered. So we bring those in against control, and obviously we take out removal. We take out 4 Trial of Ambitions because they don't really run creatures other than maybe a Shark Typhoon cycle or create a 1/1 with a castle. We could take out Chupacabra. It's the same thing. It's a 2-drop 4/4 to destroy a creature. It doesn't do anything. I take out Archon, Sungrace, because it's a 4 mana. If I cast it on for 4 mana, they can easily just kill it for 4 mana. And I cut 1 Oath of Kaya just because all Oath of Kaya is really going to do is 3 damage to them. So it's useless in that aspect that if I'm just going to pay 3 mana to do 3 damage to them, it doesn't really do anything, whereas these other cards are a lot better against them. So that's what I do against control. If I'm playing against control, that's how I sideboard. Now another deck that you're going to obviously is going to be Jund Sacrifice, and obviously Jund Sacrifice is very popular in the meta, so I think it's the number 1 play deck at the moment. So you're definitely going to see Jund Sacrifice. We already have a pretty decent main deck against Jund Sacrifice, and then it gets a lot better after sideboarding for sure. And the reason why it's already good in the main deck is just because you have threats in which they can't really deal with, and the way they can't deal with it is because Incarnation, they can't really deal with the enchantment, so you get to bring in threats at the end step to deal with their cards. So that's very powerful against their deck. So that's why this deck is already pretty good against their deck. On top of that, we have plenty of removal in graveyard. We have plenty of removal with Trial Ambitions, Skyclave, Deputy, Oath of Kaya's, Ravenous Chupacabra, Binding of the Gods, Tolsimer, that we can kill their creatures, and then we have Nightmare to exile the graveyard, and then we have cards like Yasharn to prevent them from sacrificing. And all these cards, a lot of these cards, like the creature wise, they all come from the deck with Incarnation. So the deck is already pretty good against Jund Sacrifice. It gets better after sideboards. So what we sideboard is we bring in 3 Leyline of the Voids and 1 Yasharn. Obviously, Leyline of the Void, if you get this opening hand, is very good against them because they're usually going to have something like a Braid in their deck to deal with Grafdigger's Cage and not necessarily anything to deal with enchantments. They might have Reclamation Sage in the sideboard, but it's going to be less copies of Reclamation Sage than of a Braid. So they're going to be able to deal with Leyline and the Void less likely than they are with Grafdigger's Cage. And obviously Grafdigger's Cage is not good for you because you're doing this. So Leyline and Void's very solid. And then Yasharn also because it prevents them from sacrificing. So it's another card that prevents their, Witch's Oven combo or their Dread Horde or their Priest or whatnot. And then what I cut from my deck against them is 1 Archon Sun's Grace, because this is a 4-cost 3/4. It is good in the aspect of gaining life, but you already have a lot of life gain with Othakaya and possibly Knight of Autumn here and Tolsimer that you don't really need it. You know, obviously Othakaya gains you 3 life. Knight of Autumn, if you don't destroy their artifact, you gain 4 life. And Tolsimer gains you 3 life. So you don't really necessarily need the life gain here. So I cut Archon, it's a 4-cost. I cut 1 Yorion because this is a 5-cost. You already have one as a companion. You have one in your deck that you can search out for with Incarnation. So I cut some of the top curve off for that reason, because I don't really need 2 in the main deck against them. I cut once In Search of Greatness just because it seems like, obviously Junt Sacrifice is not an aggro deck, but it seems like sometimes this card isn't doing very much. And as you saw in the matches that we just played, it's good, but it's not. So I cut this in the aspect of I might not have 2 green mana opening hand, so I might not play this turn 2. I might actually cut this card overall. Maybe not 4 copies in the main deck, maybe make 2 copies in the main deck. So that's another reason why I cut one of these. So currently in the meta, I would cut this. And then I cut 1 Gonti just because the creatures or the cards you're going to steal from them, it doesn't really do much for you to have only 1. Like if you take, say, I don't know, Witch's Oven. Like, yeah, you could sack your creatures and do that, but it doesn't really do anything. If you take Priest of the Priest God, you need to have 2 more creatures. If you take, the Mayhem Devil, then you need sack outlets. So I just cut Gonti in the aspect that it's a 4-drop that doesn't do much. So that's my sideboard against the Junt Sacrifice deck. So like I said, main deck already, it's pretty solid, but that's my sideboard. So the next deck we're going to give a sideboard guide to is it started making an appearance in the meta right now. I don't know why. I mean, it's a solid deck. I remember people playing it prior to this last week, but it's Elves. And I don't really have much against Elves because I wasn't expecting it. But I do have a little bit just because it's mainly there for other creature decks. So it kind of works for them. But against Elves, I bring in 1 Witch's Oven, 1 Wrath of God, and 1 Extinction Event. And what I cut out, obviously Witch's Oven, because you can call out Elves and it does -3/-3 to all Elves. Wrath of God, it just kills all creatures on board. And Extinction Event, you can call Extinction Event is probably the weakest of the 2 because you either have to call odd or even, and they run Elves that are both odd and even. But it's another board wipe, and it's black, and it only costs 1 black mana, whereas the other one costs double black or double white. And when I cut out again, I cut out Yorion. I want to curve my deck down. I cut Yorion out. I cut 1 Gonti and 1 In Search of Greatness. Obviously, once again, Gonti curved down. Stealing one of their 1-drop Elves is not really going to do anything. And In Search of Greatness, it's good, but it's not great. So that's what I do against Elf. Obviously, if Elf starts becoming more and more popular and starts becoming like Elves, I think was like maybe number 6 or maybe number 5 deck at the moment, or 7. But if it becomes more and more popular, I will adjust the sideboard for sure to add stuff against Elves. So, and then the next deck that we have is Rakdos Arcanist. Clearly, you're going to see this deck. It's been good. It stays good. I don't see why it would ever leave. You're going to definitely see this deck. So, once again, we just played, and you saw in the video, we played against Rakdos Arcanist, and we won in 3 games, but the second game, we could have easily have won had, he not played 4 Cruxes against us, or, we would do even 1 removal at the end, but hey, we still won in best of 3. So, and we've beat a few of them, so it's a pretty solid deck against Rakdos Arcanist. So against Rakdos Arcanist, kind of like Junt Sacrifice, we bring in 3 ley lines and we bring in 1 Yasharn. Obviously, they're a graveyard recursion deck, so you want to get rid of that. And once again, I cut 1 Yorion, 1 Archon, and I cut Knight of Autumn here. So the Yorion and Archon, obviously I'm cutting them because they're high curve cards that I don't really necessarily need here. Obviously the life gain is good, but it's not relevant. They're going to be discarding your hand mainly. So life gain, you're going to have plenty of time to survive. That's not the problem. So the life gain shouldn't be a problem. Yorion is a high cost card, obviously. In Search of Greatness, like I said, cutting this seems like way too much. Like I said, if you build this deck, I probably would cut maybe 2 in the main deck and add something else in. I'm not sure what yet because I'm still trying to figure out all the deck and what I really need or want. But at the moment, I'm going to leave it the way it is. Let me get some more tests in and see. Maybe it was just a fluke in these past few games where In Search of Greatness wasn't great, but we'll find out. But cut 1 In Search of Greatness. And the reason why we cut Night of Autumn here, obviously, instead of the Jund Sacrifice deck is because the Rakdos Arcanist deck doesn't run the Witch's Oven cat combo, so we don't need the artifact destruction, whereas the Jund Sacrifice does work it, so we need the artifact destruction. So against Rakdos Arcanist, we don't need the +1/+1 counter, we don't need the Destroy Enchantment artifact, we don't need the life gain, so we cut this here and leave it in the Jund Sacrifice deck. So that's what we do against the Rakdos Arcanist deck. And the last deck I'm going to give a sideboard guide on how I sideboard against is going to be Gruul Aggro. Yeah, this deck should still be around. I didn't play against it yet so far, but I don't see why it would leave the format. It's still a solid deck. But like I said, I didn't get to play against it, so I'm not sure how well it'll do against Gruul Aggro. But I would assume it should be fine just because we have so much removal and creatures in the deck. So they have to both, that we're combating their creatures by destroying their creatures, and we're creating bodies to destroy their creatures. And our bodies could be much stronger, like with Yorion, Scarab God, Golos is pretty strong. And then we have like Gonti with Dead Touch or Ravenous Chupacabra, Archon, game 1. So we have a pretty decent matchup, I would assume, against Gruul Aggro. So against Gruul Aggro, what we bring in is we just bring in some board wipes. So I bring in 1 Wrath of God, 1 Extinction Event, and I bring in Yasharn here, but you can easily replace this with Witch's Oven or Witch's Vengeance. But the problem with Witch's Vengeance is their creatures aren't all the same. And so that's why I don't bring in Witch's Oven in this matchup, because like they run, a bunch of different creatures, like, let's say Elf, the Gruul Spellbreaker, the Stomp Guy, the Bone Crusher. They're all like different types. So Witch's Oven is not really going to help you. Obviously, it will help you if they have 3 copies of the same creature in play. And on top of that, it doesn't kill Gruul Spellbreaker if they put a 1/1 counter on it. So I don't really bring in Witch's Vengeance against Gruul Aggro. So that's why I bring in Yasharn, because it's a 4/4 body, so it can trade with pretty much every single creature they have, or just eat their creature alive. And I cut out 1 Yorion. I keep the Archon in this matchup because they're an aggro deck, so I want to create bodies to block and lifelink. So I keep that in, but I cut 1 Yorion, I cut 1 In Search of Greatness, and I cut 1 Gonti in this matchup. Yorion, like I said, I want to curve down, and In Search of Greatness, I'm not going to probably have time to set something up. And like I said, 3 is good enough, so 3 is fine. 4 seems overkill, so I'm going to cut 1 of these, and then 1 Gonti, because what if I just hit like an elf or a 2-drop or something like that, and if I'm playing 4 mana for it, obviously it's good in the fact that it gives you Death Touch, but they can easily override that with a Ember Cleave or something like that, First Strike, so I cut that. So that's the sideboard guide against the meta currently. So hopefully you guys play this deck, enjoy the deck. So far it's doing really well for me in Historic on the ladder. But yeah, give it a try. Drop some comments. Let me know how you played it, how it feels. If there's any changes you would make, drop some comments down below. And hopefully you guys subscribe, you like the video, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.